Do you think that, like, athletes, Premier League footballers, there's more of a problem in that community with gambling than there is in other walks of life, or is it just more public because we know
Well,
about those people?
Sporting chance. I think the last time I heard sporting chance was 70% gambling, 30% drink. When it had always been 70% drink, 30% gambling.
Wow, okay.
So I think that tells you everything.
What do you think of when we've had some high-profile cases like Toney, for example, and Toney? And
Yeah, I don't. I think it's disgusting what they've done to them.
really,
I think it's disgusting at the highest level. I think this is an illness. It's an illness. You know, these people sit on the panel and they underestimate. It's an illness. Until something happens in their family, and then they'll understand. Do not ban people and take away their living, take away what they do, to sit them indoors on their own for 10 months to try and stop.
Right.
You know, as you said just before, you know, Toney has a betting company on his shirt that he plays. You know, he would have done stuff for that company. I'm sure he would have with his contract. I might be wrong.
The biggest player at the club, isn't he? So, yeah,
How dare... And you ban them for 10 months. If they were on heroin, they would have been playing football now.
Wow, yeah.
Because they'd have gone into a treatment centre, they would have cleaned up. You know, they would have understood. They would have gone, oh, he's on drugs. Oh, you know, it's an addiction. You know, they underestimate gambling still. I think it's still a stigma. You know, people go, oh, stop gambling. You don't need to do it. Show a bit of willpower. Next time you get diarrhea, try and stop that with willpower. You know, and it's the same with this. You know, that I had it with the drugs. In 93, 94, I went into treatment. I come out, you know, they kept on drug testing me, and then they went, right, bang, you can play again now.
Okay.
You know, and it would have been the same. If he was on crack cocaine or Toney was, they would have gone to a treatment centre, they would have cleaned up, and they would have just kept on getting drug tested, and they would have turned up on the off chance. Why they're banning people, I just don't get this. You know, it's not, you got to remember, Toney and Toney are probably on 100 grand a week.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they're wealthy people.
Yeah.
You know, no disrespect here, but if you're playing for Rochdale Football Club now, and you know you're not on a lot of money, a lot of these players down in the lower divisions play for the love of the game. They probably get more money on a building site than what they would playing in them leagues. You know, the interest rate's going through the roof. You know, their money's not going up.
Yeah.
You know, how am I going to get out of this? I've got to pay. I have a bet. I try and win the mortgage money or the rent money this month. Get themselves in trouble. How can they possibly come out and say, I need help, I'm a compulsive gambler, my life's an absolute mess, how can I come out? Because what will happen, they'll get a 10-month ban. You don't think, you know, no disrespect to Rochdale, any league, any team in League 1 and 2, they're not going to stick by that player.
Right.
They're going to get rid of them.
Yeah.
They're not going to pay their wages for the next 10 months. So it's not a good show. You know, they haven't put any thought into this. They should have gone, right, wait there a minute. You know, let's get them help. Let's go out into society, get them talking to people and opening up. And they haven't. And how's this going to help people in the lower leagues? You know, the people in the... Toney's international. Toney's an international. It's a bad example. You're not going to... The clubs are not going to throw them away. They're 40, 50, 70, 80 million pound players. But in the lower leagues, how can they go out and ask for help? It hasn't been good. It's not good what they've done.
Do you think there are probably many more players we don't know about?
Loads. Wow. Loads. Well, if 70% are in that we wouldn't even know about.
Yeah.
You know, they've gone in. They've gone in on the chance. Probably their clubs have said they're injured and they're in there now, and it's all top secret.
Right. Okay.
But it's top secret. So you know these people. So they'll go and get well and they'll get help and great and fair play. But society ain't getting helped.
Yeah.
You know, at least when I'm doing it, people will go, well, if he can do it, I can do it. If it's happened to him, it can happen to me. You know, and people need to hear them stories. You know, that's how I get well, by hearing stories from meetings. You know, that it's just not me. I'm not on my own. And that's what people need to hear, because people think they're the only person that are doing what they're doing. And they're not alone. But if it's all top secret, how are they going to get well?
There are obviously cases where footballers, for example, are betting on football, and someone who perhaps doesn't understand gambling addiction well think, well, if you don't want to get caught, bet on other things, you're far less likely to. Why the bet on football? Do you have any idea? Is it almost a cry for help? Do they want to get caught in some circumstances?
Compulsive gambler. Goes out the window. Rationale goes out the window.
Okay.
You know, when you plug a plug in, it works. If that plug's half in, half out, ain't working. And that's what happens with an addict.
Yeah.
You know, don't rationale. You don't sit there and go, yeah, oh yeah, better not do. I won't do that because I'm doing that. They just lost their money. What's the next thing to bet on? You know, and it's an addiction. It's, you know, you don't you don't think. You don't go, oh wait there a minute, I'll stop. You're in it, and it just nothing. You care about nothing.
Okay. If you enjoyed that was just a small segment from a conversation with Paul Merson. If you want to watch the full interview, you can do so right here.